Hello dear students. Today I will talk about part 7 of unit 2 solution. In previous lecture I told you about the Raoult's law and the relation of Raoult's law with volatile and non-volatile component in the solution. Today I will told you the most important property of solution from which one question arises in the board examinations, either maybe in form of theory or in form of numericals. So most of the case one numerical question is asking from this part. Okay, so the part is known as colligative properties. Basically these properties are defined for the dilute solution. So that's why before starting this concept, that is colligative property, I want to tell something about colligative property. So this is basically property of dilute solution, and you know that what is the dilute solution? In dilute solution the solute concentration is very less in comparison to the solvent concentration. So think about that, in what condition they arises. If the concentration of solute is very less in comparison to the solvent, so just you can say that if the interaction before mixing and after mixing solute and solvent are nearly same, in that condition they behave as ideal solution and also follow the Raoult's law. Are you getting this point or not? That means the heat of formation, the heat release, okay, that is heat reservoir or heat release or change in volume, okay, are just like a negligible. That means there no will be more changes or occurs in case of dilute solution. So that's why we can say that dilute solutions also follow the ideal gas behavior and also follow the Raoult's law. Are you getting this point or not? So now let us focus on the colligative properties. So basically the colligative properties are the properties of dilute solution, and the colligative means, what is meaning of colligative in Latin? In Latin, co means together. Okay, are you getting this point or not? And ligare means to bind. That means the one property of solution are related to the other property. So that's why you can say that these property are known as colligative property. That means if you find the one property of solution, you can find relate this property to the other property of solution. So that's why they are known as colligative property. Okay. Now let us define the colligative property. So what is the colligative property? Basically, so colligative properties are those properties which basically depend upon what amount of solute particles, or you can say concentration of solute particles, or you can say they also depend upon the ratio of solute to solvent component. That means the ratio of number of solute particles to the number of solvent particles. Are you getting this point or not? But they do not depend upon the identity, that is nature of solute. Are you getting this point or not? So that means those properties which only depend upon amount or concentration, or you can say the number of solute, ratio of number of solute to the solvent particles, are known as colligative property. Okay. So now you can write like this: a colligative property, that means Cp, is directly proportional to what? Amount of solute. Okay. Are you getting this point or not? Just you can say that, you can say the colligative property also you can say depend upon moles of solute. The amount may be in term of mole. Okay. You can also say that depend upon the mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute. Okay. You can say also number of molecules. Number of molecules. Basically, in case of in case of non-ionizable, or you can say molecules such as sugar, urea, glucose, etc. You can also say that colligative property directly proportional to number of ions in case of electrolyte. In case of electrolyte, such as NaCl, and you know that NaCl breaking the solution in two parts. Okay, this you can also take K2SO4. You can also take KCl. So these are the electrolytes. So one more thing is notice down that in number of molecules means in case of non-electrolytes, okay, which are non-ionizable, are in the form of molecules. In case of electrolytes, they produce number of ions. So that's why this also depend upon the number of ions in case of electrolytes. It may be depend upon the mole fraction of solute. It may be also depend upon the moles of solute, molarity. So these concentration also related to the colligative property in term of solute. Are getting this point or not? So that means they only and only depend upon the amount or concentration of solute particles, not their nature. Now let us focus one example to explain this. How can you say that this do not depend upon the nature of solute particles? Just like that. In case we are taken 1 mole of urea, they have molar weight how much? The molar weight is 60. Are getting this point or not? Similarly, we have taken 1 mole of sucrose. Okay, here the molar weight of sucrose is 342 gram per mole. So now look the conditions. They have different molar weight, they have different nature, but amount are same. So that's why the freezing point of this, when they dissolve in 1 kg of solvent, that means aqueous solution of this, what happens? The freezing point is minus 1.86 degrees centigrade for both. That means if the mole, that is amount of solute are same in case of non-ionizable solute, in that condition what you can say that if they have all same freezing point, whatsoever the nature, this does not depend upon the freezing points. Are you getting this point or not? So now the freezing point of water become minus 1.86. This is also known as depression in freezing points. So this freezing point, new freezing point, now you can say that depression of freezing point, that is less than 0 degree centigrade for water. Okay, and this is due to the mixing of same amount of solute. So this denote that the colligative property only and only depend upon the amount of solute, not its nature. Are getting this point or not? 1 mole means how many particles are there? 6.02 10 to the power 23. They have same particles, number of particles. Their number of particles are same. So that's why they only depend upon the number of particles. Okay. So these things you have to know about the colligative property. Now let us focus some more important points regarding the colligative property. So basically from this property we can calculate the molecular mass of dissolved solute. So this property help in calculation of what? Molecular mass of solute. Are getting this point or not? Now look about the conditions. If you want to the excellent result in term of colligative property, so what condition you have to follow? So first of all, the solution should be very dilute. Second things, what happens here? The solute should be non-volatile. The third things, you have to know that the solute should not dissociate or associate in the solvent. That means you can say in solution they do not dissociate or associate. So these three conditions are give you good results for colligative property. So now let us focus on the type of colligative property. So 4 type of properties you have to know. First is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Okay, किसका? ऑफ सॉल्वेंट. Okay. Second property, elevation in boiling point. That means after mixing non-volatile solute, what happens? The boiling points are elevated. Okay, for which solvent? Elevation in boiling point of solvent. Third, depression. Depression means less, down. So depression of freezing point. Freezing point depression means the solvent have less freezing point after adding the non-volatile solute. So depression of freezing point of solvent again. So look there here, 3 properties, okay, related to the solvent. Now the 4th property, that is known as osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. So this is basically of solution, osmotic pressure of solution. So maybe one type of question is asked that out of following of colligative properties, which colligative properties are for solution and which colligative property for solvent. So only this property, osmotic pressure, is basically belong to the solution, and all 3 properties, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling points, and depression in freezing points. So these all belong to the solvent. Are getting this point or not? So 4 properties we have to know, okay, in this topic, that is colligative property. So let us focus on the first property, that is known as relative lowering of vapor pressure. So now let us focus on the relative lowering of vapor pressure, and before that I want to told you one more point, that is if anyone asks you that what is the basic reason for the colligative property, so just you have to told that more entropy of solution than solvent is the basic property of which generate the colligative property. Okay, as I told you that before, that means in previous lecture, that pure solvent is more ordered than solution. So that means solutions are more disordered, that means they have more entropy, and that's why the reason to generate the colligative property. Now let us focus on the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Are getting this point or not? So look at here, just like we have taken one containers, and this containers contain what? Only A, that is pure solvent. So now what happens here? All the vapors are basically belong to the here. Now second time what happens? If we add non-volatile solute, here solutes are non-volatile are added, just like A and B. 2 components are there. A is volatile component and B is non-volatile component. So now what happens here? Here again only PA is from the vapor, but this is basically P0A, okay, and this is the vapor pressure of solution. So this is solution vapor pressure and this is solvent vapor pressure. Are you getting this point or not? So what happens here? When we add a non-volatile solute in the pure solvent to form a solution, in that condition the vapor pressure of solution is less than solvent, that is pure solvent. So according to Raoult's law, we know that if P1 equal to P01 and X1, now what happens here? Reduction in pressure takes place. So delta P equal to what happens? This is P01 minus P1. This is pure solvent and this is solution. Here the vapor pressure reduction takes place. So that's why we can write like this. Now we know that P1 equal to P01 X1. So put the value here, P01 and X1. Now what happens here? P01 common, 1 minus X1, and we know that 1 minus X1 equal to X2. So just we have to relate this in the term of mole fraction. So this is the reduction of vapor pressure. That means the lowering of vapor pressure equal to delta P equal to P naught 1 x2. So this is known as lowering of vapor pressure. Now we have to find the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So that's why what we have to do that. Now open this. So this is basically P naught 1 P1 equal to P naught 1 x2, and we have to find the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So this P naught 1 transfer here. So now this become P naught 1 P1 divided by P naught 1 equal to x2. So this is your formula you have to generate, and now this is known as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Are getting this point or not? So maybe one question arises in the form of derivation. We generate the relative lowering of vapor pressure in respect to mole fraction. Are getting this point or not? Now we know that the mole fraction equal to number of mole of solute divided by total number of mole of solute and solvent. So we know that H2 equal to N2 divided by N1 plus N2. Okay. Now put this value in relative lowering of vapor pressure formula. So now we get this N2 divided by N1 plus N2. For very dilute solution, for very dilute solution, that means concentration less than 5%. In this condition, what happens? We can neglect. So in this condition, you can say that N1 is more than N2. Hence, neglect N2 from denominator. Are getting this point or not? Just you can what? Neglect N2 from denominator. So now we get one more formula, P naught 1 minus P1 divided by P naught 1 equal to N2 divided by N1. So in term of number of mole, we can use this formula. In term of mole fraction, we can use this formula. If you want to the number of mole of all, so we can use this formula. Now one more thing you know that if the number of mole of solute or solvent is also depend upon the mass by molar mass. So we can use this formula like this also. P naught 1 minus P1 divided by P naught 1 equal to what? The mass of solute divided by molar mass of solute equal divided by mass of solute and molar mass of solute plus mass of solvent and molar mass of solvent. So in term of weight and molar mass, you can use this formula. So these three type of formula you have to use in your board examinations to calculate the relative loading of vapor pressure. Are getting this point or not? So now you can define that with the relative loading of vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction of solute. Are getting this point or not? Any doubt here? One more thing. How can you say that with relative lowering of vapor pressure is colligative property? So look the condition. This depend upon the mole fraction, that is amount of solute. You can say so that's why this is known as colligative property. Are you getting this point or not? So these are the basic things regarding the colligative property. One thing you have to focus that this is the lowering of vapor pressure and this is the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So one time this type of question is asked to find the relative lowering of vapor pressure. In that condition, you have to only find the x2. So what is the x2 you can get? So this is basically related to directly relative lowering of vapor pressure. So one question from here arises in board examination. So now let us focus one question related to this. Okay. So now let us focus this question. The vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin each. 17.535 mmHg. Are getting this point or not? So this is the basically pure pressure, that means of water solvent, that means you can say P01. To calculate the vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin when 25 gram of glucose is dissolved in 450 gram of water. Here mass of glucose given. Look the conditions. What is given here? Basically P01 is given. How much? You can say 535 mmHg. mmHg given. Are getting this point or not? Now weight of, that means you can say W2 given. Glucose is the solute, so this is given 25 gram. And we know that the molar mass of glucose is, you can find by the formula, glucose means C6H12O6. That's why the molar mass of glucose is 180 gram per mole. Similarly, W1, that is mass of solvent, given 450 gram. Okay, and we know that molar mass of solvent is 18 gram per mole. Now put this value, that is according to Raoult's law. That means we can say P01 minus P1 divided by P0, and this is equal to what? We can say x2. Okay, are getting this point or not? Now put the values and find the P1. Here this is asking. Okay, this you have to find. So now put the value. This we can write like this: H2 equal to W2 divided by M2, and then W2 divided by M2 plus W1 divided by M1. Now putting the value of this, and we can find what? The vapor pressure of solvent. Okay, so P01 given 17.535 minus P1 divided by P01 again given 17.535. Okay, and this is equal to how much? Mass given 25 gram divided by 180 gram per mole, divided by 25 gram divided by 180 gram per mole plus 450 gram and divided by 18 gram per mole. Now solving this question, we can get P1 equal to 17.43 approximate 8. Just you can say 17.44 mmHg. So now this can denote na the vapor pressure of solution is less than the pure solvent, and glucose is non-volatile solute. So that's why the vapor pressure reduced. So by this way you can find the vapor pressure of solution. Okay, so this type of questions you can be done by knowing properly the formula and concept of relative knowledge of vapor pressure. The number of questions I have given the sheet. Okay, so go through the sheet and also go through the NCERT book and do this type of questions, so that you can be confident in doing this type of questions in board examination. As you know that practice makes a man perfect, so that's why you have to practice nearly 10 to 15 questions which are related to relative loading of vapor pressure, so that you can gain the confidence. Okay, thank you dear students. Stay home, stay healthy and continue your learning. Thank you.